60 days to crack one of the toughest cybersecurity exams in the world, the CISSP. And I did it. I was terribly overworked, I was working full time, and I was overwhelmed. The course content, the syllabus, I didn't know how to cover it. I didn't know where to start from. But I did it. I passed the exam. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I did it. What worked, what didn't work, so that you don't do the same mistakes again and you can do it smarter and maybe even faster. 3 months before the CISSP exam, I made a bold move. I registered for the exam without any prior preparation. I had an idea about the course content, but not much more. But to my despair, I wasted the first month of my preparation because I just felt very overwhelmed and I was not able to stick to a discipline. I was not able to maintain consistency, and therefore I was not able to follow the course contents properly. 60 days before, I started working on it consistently when I arrived at this one little trick which I could use in order to make myself stick to that discipline. And that is the stopwatch strategy. So I came up with a stopwatch method. In the stopwatch method, what I did was that I took a stopwatch on my phone, I started it, and I decided that every day I'm going to put in 3 hours for CISSP preparation. Because I was working, I did not have much time for myself. It was hard to get those 3 hours at a stretch, right? So that is why this problem got even bigger, because I was actually not able to measure in real time what is the number of hours I'm actually putting in every day to study. Is it just 1 hour? Is it just 40 minutes? And this also made me hold accountability on myself in a way that, today I haven't put the 3 hours in, so it would be making me feeling guilty and underproductive towards the end of the day. And that is exactly the kind of pressure I wanted to build on myself, because I had very little time left and I had to cover the syllabus. So I started putting the quantity of hours in through this stopwatch. What I used to do was I used to start the stopwatch and start studying, and whenever I used to take a break, I used to stop the stopwatch and maybe convert it into another lap in order to see how many laps I'm doing in a day. Once you start getting those 3 hours, what will happen is that once you're grasped into the syllabus, those 3 hours would stretch to 4 hours. Those 4 hours would stretch to 5 hours, because you're enjoying the content, because you're finally understanding everything. So just building a habit initially is important because you have very little time left, and holding yourself accountable, and of course building pressure on yourself. So this was the idea behind this stopwatch method. I started with Pete Zerger's courses, and they really helped me grasp the contents. His exam cram is something which I highly recommend. I also worked with Thor Peterson's courses on Udemy and also attempted questions which were there domain-wise, his practice tests of 30 questions. And I also took some other hybrid tests courses which are available by Thor Peterson's. And Thor Pedersen is basically helping you provide information which is not provided in clarity within the ISC2 guide itself. Although I did work with the ISC2 guide as well, because I really wanted to get into the contents of the book, and I attempted all of the questions which were there after the chapters in the ISC2 guide as well. And towards the last 5 days, I started working with the pocket prep questions, and I attempted 600 to 900 questions in the last week for pocket prep itself. And I did not buy the Boston practice tests. I felt that they were a little expensive and I could already get that information from pocket prep. Although users at Reddit said that pocket prep was not that helpful for them and Boston was closest to the CISSP exam, but I believe that I was confident enough in my ability to get the right answer. So I decided to move ahead with the pocket prep questions, and it fared well for me. So that's what I was trying to say, that there was a lot of misinformation on Reddit, and there was a lot of reverse psychology being played on the candidates as well, so that you start doubting yourself while you are attempting the exam. But you have to keep your calm. You have to understand that things and timelines play differently for different people, and different people are able to grasp the contents behind a particular concept which is being explained at a different level, in a different depth, and at a different time as well. So it's different for everyone. It's a personal experience, but you have to be confident within yourself. If you've done the preparation, you have to strategize the preparation, you have to be consistent, you have to be disciplined, and you have to make yourself understand the psychology behind it. Also, On the side, I would want to address that it was very hard making this shift in a working lifestyle, because you also spare some time to speak to your friends, to go out and to chill and to have fun. But these are the things which you would have to forego for the amount of time you're putting in here, because every hour of preparation is going to count when you're doing it in such a short span of time. Because there are 8 domains in the syllabus, and all of these 8 domains are vast. They're covering each and every area of security, and unless and until you're able to identify the meaning or the philosophy behind introducing something which is mentioned in the book as in the form of a concept, you would not be able to clear this exam. So this exam is not just about the course content, about grasping the course content or just the concepts. It's about building a perspective of always doing the right thing in terms of defense in cybersecurity if you are the leader, right? So once you're able to identify that, if you have multiple lines of decisions which you can take, and all of those decisions seem right, even then you have to choose the best out of those all right decisions. And that is how you would feel once you start attempting the questions in the CISSP exam. And that is why it's very important for you to be very disciplined towards the beginning, because you need to squeeze out a lot of time towards the end of these 2 months. That is, let's say the last 10 days. And in the last 10 days, mainly, you would have to cover most of the questions. And I covered around 600 to 900 questions in the last 5 days before taking my exam, because it was important for me to get into the hang of taking the right decisions. And it also gives you feedback instantly, telling you whether you answered it right or not, and also provides you with an explanation of the concept behind why a particular answer was chosen and why the other answers were not that correct, which is exactly the kind of ideology you need to build for this kind of an exam. So do check. I would also like to thank everyone who wished me and congratulated me when I cleared this exam last year. I got a huge and an overwhelming response on LinkedIn from the cybersecurity community, and thank you everyone for your congratulations and your good wishes. And on the side, I also got asked many questions regarding what was my strategy, what were the resources which I used, where did I take the practice tests. I've answered all of those questions. But this one question which stood out of all of them was, why did I take this exam? And I'm going to address this right now. And that is that I was looking for something which was able to provide me with the foundational knowledge behind securing any kind of software product, be it a thick client desktop application, be it a mobile application, be it a web application, be it a network, be it an infrastructure, which is, be it the cloud infrastructure tier, be it the cloud security and multiple other areas, be it the CI/CD pipeline, be it the source code, securing all of that within a software product to cover all of the attack surfaces. So I wanted something which could provide me with an in-depth knowledge first of all about the kind of processes which are inbuilt in operating systems, let's say, to secure them and provide access control on them, the Bell LaPadula model, the other models which are there within the exam. So all of these models are actually able to help you understand what are the access controls and how are they applied and what is the reason behind applying those access controls. And this is just a small example. Then we have these risk management frameworks, which I had absolutely no idea about. Then how do you secure different layers of the OSI model and why security is important at different layers of the OSI model. So just getting into the details of the architecture of a network within a software infrastructure, and getting so many more details. And then just after grasping all of that information, it just comes to you and asks you, why would you make a particular decision when securing this particular infrastructure after you have these many scenarios? And you have to choose the right answer, the best answer out of all of the right answers. So just to build that kind of a perspective, this is the information inflow which you need to have in order to be able to answer all of those questions. Answer those questions correctly. So this is the reason why I took this exam. Hope this helps. See you on the other side.